This is important because the world is undergoing a democratic transition that is unprecedented in history. Urbanization is increasing around the world, especially here in India, and more people are flocking to metropolises in search of greater opportunity and a better future for themselves and their families. Technological innovations are transforming society, facilitating greater migration from rural areas. Affordable transportation networks enable people to move more easily from rural to urban areas, and the spread of cellular networks and advances in communications technology have also exposed rural populations to the allure of cities. Meanwhile, changing weather patterns and rising temperatures are affecting economic conditions, which in themselves are also prompting flights to cities. It's important to note that 100 years ago, just 2 out of 10 people lived in cities. Today, that number is equal to half the world's population. Worldwide, approximately 200,000 people per day are migrating from rural to urban areas. This is truly uncharted territory. By 2050, it's estimated that 70% of the world's population will live in cities, and most of the rapid growth will occur in Asia and Africa, and of course, right here in India. 300 million people are expected to move to India's rapidly expanding cities over the next 20 years. That's roughly equivalent to the entire population of the United States. India's urban population will grow more rapidly than in China, South America, or the West. And by 2030, it's believed that India is expected to lead the world in the growth of megacities, defined as cities with populations of more than 10 million people. There will be much more demand for space and infrastructure to meet this growth. But according to a McKinsey report, almost 70 to 80% of the infrastructure, the physical space of Indian cities have yet to be built. The combined market potential for smart infrastructure in the sectors of energy, transportation, water, healthcare, and governance is therefore enormous, estimated upwards of $1.5 trillion over the next 5 years, according to a recent industry study. The fact is, India will be one of the world's leaders in growth in cities in the coming years at a scale and pace that few have ever witnessed before. So this will present both enormous challenges, but also significant opportunities. Challenges on governance, challenges on safety, pollution, health, law and order, but also significant opportunities. That's why I think the Prime Minister's Smart Cities Initiative is so important so that India's urban centers can be transformed for those who live there. Speaking on behalf of the United States, we've been very pleased to share our experience in this area with our Indian counterparts. American companies, consumers, and cities have been active in the smart city arena for quite some time, and some of the initiatives in these cities can also pertain to India. As we speak, New York City is turning its phone booths into Wi-Fi hotspots in a quest to build the world's largest Wi-Fi network. San Francisco now has 100 charging stations across the city to promote hybrid and electric cars, and citizens in Boston can use 5 different municipal apps to report problems in their neighborhood or find parking. Seattle residents can monitor their own power usage on any given day and make adjustments through their handheld devices. On a typical day in an American city, a resident might travel to work using a neighborhood bike share, ride on a new bike lane to the metro, knowing in advance whether bikes are available and whether the metro has any delays. At work, he or she may pay her utility bill, order groceries, turn up the heat in the house, use Uber to get home, with the driver avoiding those roads that are too congested, all through information that is provided real-time on a smartphone. There is no turning back on the smart cities revolution. It's not just the big cities. Citizens across America and now across the globe are demanding smarter, more connected, and more efficient living spaces. So what are we doing here in India to share our experience? At the request of the Indian government, we're very pleased to be the leading partner in helping to develop 3 cities, Vizag, Ajmer, and Allahabad. Representatives from various U.S. government agencies, including the State Department, the Commerce Department, USAID, Department of Energy, have been involved in multiple efforts with all these cities. In Ajmer, for example, we support U.S. companies working to modernize railway infrastructure, create traffic management systems, and improve security and surveillance systems. In Allahabad, we are involved in e-governance and waste management projects. In Vizag, we also have e-governance projects, as well as environmentally focused projects around protecting Andhra Pradesh's coastline. We're using our convening power to enlist the support of U.S. government financial agencies and finance agencies such as EXIM and OPIC, and also partnering with major Indian business associations, as when we organized a major U.S. industry engagement with Vizag last April. We also then followed up with a large trade mission to India with a number of U.S. leading technology companies presenting their solutions in various cities in a mission that was led by our Deputy Secretary of Commerce. And we're also organizing what we call a reverse trade mission, whereby we bring officials from the Ministry of Urban Development to the United States to visit a number of cities and see smart cities in action. We've established with our Indian counterparts a so-called infrastructure collaboration platform, which again seeks to facilitate private sector participation in Indian infrastructure projects. This consortium of over 30 companies markets specific capabilities that support key components of smart city projects, such as energy, especially renewables and smart grid technology, water and sanitation, safety and health, transportation and security.